there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and hope you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm back today to have a chat to you about some of the big winners from patch 3.8. Some of the people who actually, or not people, although they may be people, I don't know, there might be a guy out there called IS-7. Some of the tanks that picked up the ball, ran with it, and have become all the more better for a bit of recent racing when it comes to the game and patch 3.8 and the equipment updates. And today I'm going to talk about two particular tanks that I already thought were very, very strong and which I think have really picked up another bit of, well, success, joy, happiness, whatever you want to quantify it as. This is the IS-7. There's two tanks. There's the IS-7 and the IS-4. They were tanks that already had pretty much everything they could ask for. They had very good mobility for a heavy tank with their kind of armour profile, which was prolific armour. They had really good armour profile. And they had very, very good mobility to go with it. So they could punch out big numbers in terms of speed. They were pretty good on the traverse. They had nice 120mm guns for firepower. They had lacking really nothing in this world. The IS-7 is just an all-round brute, and the IS-4 is a tank that has a superb side-scraping armour profile. It's got massively thick armour, and both of these things, when combined with the tank's size. Now, I've talked about this before, but there's something you've got to understand with the game. The best possible armour you can have is not being seen. And you're going to see, particularly in the IS-7 game that I run at the end of this video, that it's a fantastic tank for being able to slide down into the crevices and actually not get hit. And a case in point is you're going to see there's a waffle tractor who's going to push up on me very shortly here. I'm going to push straight ahead and I'm going to slide down off a very, I don't know how I missed that. Don't know. That guy should buy a lottery ticket. I'm going to push straight ahead and I'm immediately underneath his gun. He has to reverse all the way back here to get the thing up and then have another crack. And it's these kind of crevices, berms, slight raises in the ground in the game that make it really easy for low-profile tanks, particularly Soviet tanks. And let's face it, most of them are the IS-3s, the IS-8s, the 62As, the Object 140s, the IS-4s, the IS-3 Defenders, the IS-6s. They get very low to the ground. And it means that they are quite capable of hiding and not being seen. And when they do show any kind of tank or leg or any kind of, shot to the enemy, it's the shot they want shown. And you can see here I'm in the IS-4. Now this doesn't have a happy ending, this thing, but you're going to see it's with the traverse buff, with the ability to traverse a lot quicker, with the plus 7% to traverse because it's already got a very, very good top end speed, with the extra 5% to the armor, with the ability to mount both a vertical stabilizer and a gun handling drive, with the robustness for track repair and such. They become pretty freaking monstrous vehicles. They already have big hit point pools. They've got excellent intimidating 120mm guns with decent rates of fire. They now have exceptional armor, exceptional mobility, and they are just all-round kick-ass machines. And we're very much looking at possibly a return to form of the old days where these tanks used to just be the number one, number two, and number three selections when you were running at higher tiers. And they still are. But now in public games, they're going to be coming up against, like, look at this 54E1, for example. I mean, he's a medium tank at tier 9. And I'm pretty mobile. I get a little bit unlucky along the way here, but I'm pretty mobile for a tier 10 heavy tank. And I'm able to get around, and I've got all kinds of people on top of me, not to mention a Grill 15 who does me no favours whatsoever there. And I'm still able to move and angle and stay with them and just pump out damage in the face of overwhelming odds. Even better than that is the fact that the IS-7 particularly, which has a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, can get out and motor. Now you see I've dropped engine boost. I'm on Oasis Palms. I'm in the far north end of the town, and I'm well up here. There's a grill flying along behind me. There's an IS-7 spotted inside. He's the only other guy I know that can be over here, apart from mediums. So I'm more than willing to just push, push, push. And with the pike nose and the incredible armor profile and the plus 5%, I'm pretty much hull down and super tough to penetrate from here. And you can see I'm now side scraping off a rock in front of me. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to move forward. And I'm now going to talk about the profile of the tanks. I'm sideways to this guy. The grill cannot hit me, okay? All he can hit is the top of my tank, which is a stupidly strong and difficult to penetrate armor profile. I can slide out over here, get shots off on these two, and then slide back, and I'm, for all intents and purposes, completely covered by the terrain. And yet, I have a better armor profile than that E100 in front of me, who is enormous and big as a barn and very, very easily penned. What I'm trying to say here is that if I had to pick a couple of tanks to go and run around and be very tough with and hold a line, I'd pick the IS-4 and the IS-7. If I had to pick a couple of tanks to rush and storm with and aggressively push without stopping and take damage at the same time, I'd probably pick the same two tanks. I'm enjoying to a tremendous degree the AMX-50B, but for all that, wow, these guys, the good just got better. The IS-4 and the IS-7 are probably, to my mind, now overpowered tanks. And I just think, you know, there's so much they've got going for them. If you know how to drive them and you know how to find your way around the battlefield, you can be so aggressive in these tanks. Tier 9s can really struggle to pen a well-angled IS-4 or an IS-7. You can see I'm just firing this thing on the move, driving forward, hard, aggressive play, stopping for absolutely no one or no man, and just pumping. I mean, it really is a fantastic tank now. If you like aggressive gameplay, you cannot go wrong in either of these things. The IS-7 is a more foolproof, plug-and-play, absolute, 100% bona fide winner, because you don't even have to worry about side scraping or anything. You can side scrape in a pinch, but you can just angle this thing up. And there's a lot of tanks that you're going to meet that will just struggle to penetrate you, especially with the plus 5% to armor. And with all the mobility and the double gun handling buff, it's been a killer. And you are Bushka on Blitz. I hope you guys enjoy that. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We had a great stream today, the last of the Asia AmmoWack, the NA AmmoWack service streams. We're going to have the T-34-85 Victory winner coming out very, very soon. There is going to be a bunch of boats videos dropping on here. I mean, it's okay for Jingles and everyone else, and they've got 500,000 subscribers. I'm not going to muck around running two channels anymore. I'm going to drop the odd boats video on here. You don't have to watch it. In fact, you can watch it if you like. I don't see why you wouldn't. It'll still be the same kind of rubbish and chat. It'll be a bit more lighthearted than any of these talking and op-ed pieces that I'm doing at the moment. We're going to be doing some more reviews in the very short term. A lot of the stuff that I was going to review, I've pulled the pin on because I don't have enough spare parts on the contributor account to run full reviews and actually break down how they play with different pieces of equipment. And I'm waiting till the next patch when I believe Wargaming are going to be able to add more equipment. At the moment, they can only add 10,000 spare parts per option to the contributor accounts, and for the life of me, I don't want anyone at Wargaming who can actually be working on something specifically important to be sitting there pumping 10,000 spare parts at a transaction into my account every 5 minutes. I mean, they have better things to do with their time, and they're far better off looking at tickets, looking at game balance, and answering your queries than chucking spare parts on a contributor account for me. So I'll take one for the team on that one. And as we kick forward and I get more spare parts on the accounts, I'll be going back to doing more reviews of lower tier tanks as well. Not to say that we haven't done a heap of reviews on lower tier tanks over the recent times. We've done the Stuart, the VK3001P, I mean the Little Leopard, all kinds of things, the T25AT, although that's getting up towards tier 7. We've been getting through a lot of work. Anyway, boys and girls, thanks very much for your time. Keep watching. There's going to be a lot of streams. That's been a really big part of the channel over the past week, and I'm enjoying having the internet back. It's been a tremendously big thing for me. I love doing the streams. I enjoy interacting with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it too. A couple of patron training rooms coming up for those of you who are watching who are patrons. Watch out for later in the week the NA patron training room, and over the weekend maybe I'll bite the bullet and we'll do an EU training room, which will require me to get up at like 5 AM and talk to you guys with a cup of coffee in my hand, basically IVing coffee just to stay awake. Love your work. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. Thanks very much for hanging around. I know it's tough times out there. I know 3.8 has been a punish for a lot of people, but let's stick with it and see if we can't come out the other side. All the better for recent racing. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield.